Well, hi everyone. Santa Anita reopens today, March 29th, the first live racing in nearly 4 weeks. You know, most of the time there would be a genuine sense of excitement. Opening days usually are highly anticipated. On track, you can feel the vibe. This weekend at Santa Anita, not sure the terms excitement or anticipation apply. This is a gorgeous racetrack, but a lot has changed at Santa Anita, including the suspension of racing, breakdowns, medication reform, and plans to virtually abolish the whip. This winter, Santa Anita, unfortunately, has lost a lot of goodwill. The definition of goodwill is, quote, friendly, helpful, or cooperative feelings or attitude. End quote. That description might not apply to the current environment. One well-known trainer, speaking candidly and off the record Thursday morning, called the current relationship between management and horsemen, quote, a hostile environment, end quote. Unilateral decisions by Santa Anita, including medication and whip reform, the insinuation to run your horses or else. The vibe is not good. I hope Santa Anita, the great race place, earns back that goodwill. I'm sure you feel the same way. I have never seen Santa Anita in this position. It's back against the wall. In morning training hours, I have never felt the atmosphere this worried. It's bizarre because mornings at dawn, that's my favorite time of day. So racing returns today. Excitement and anticipation replaced by, well, uncertainty and apprehension. In today's video, we will touch briefly on new rules regarding Lasix and the whip. Now, this is all new stuff, and the opinions that I expressed today certainly could change. But for handicappers and horse players, there are a couple of major changes coming soon, including today. So let's take a look at the recent changes that will take place at Santa Anita concerning Lasix and the use of the whip. The allowable level of a dose of Lasix has been decreased to 5 cc's. The previous maximum was 10 cc's. As for the whip, soon it will be used for safety only. Now that whip rule is not in effect yet. And for the record, these changes in permissible levels of Lasix and the guidelines regarding the whip were not necessary in my opinion. And the circumstances under which the changes were enacted by decree from the Stronach Group in the middle of a crisis left many with a sour taste, including me. Anyway, Lasix is a diuretic. It helps prevent horses from internal bleeding. That is also referred to as exercise-induced pulmonary hemorrhage, aka EIPH. Lasix is often used as a preventive measure to stop horses from bleeding in the first place. Because once a horse bleeds, the chances increase they will bleed again. So Lasix is often used as a prophylactic. Our question as bettors, what is the difference between 10 cc's, the previously allowed maximum dose, and 5 cc's? Well, based on informal discussions with Southern California trainers, the difference is not much. Some trainers administer 3 cc's of Lasix as a matter of course. For bigger horses, perhaps a higher dose is required. And some veteran horses, older horses, sometimes also require a higher dose. But 5 cc's is a typical standard. So do horses really need more than 5 cc's? For now, I'm going to say they do not. For now, I do not believe that a reduction in the allowable levels of Lasix will have a measurable effect. I could be wrong, and if so, I will make it clear that my opinion has changed. As for the whip, on Thursday afternoon, the California Horse Racing Board voted to disallow the use of whips for anything but safety. Now, the whip guideline, and this is from the Strawnet Group's earlier announcement. The whip guideline is to only allow the use of the crop as a corrective safety measure. The actual proposal is slightly different. It says that the whip can be used, quote, when necessary to control the horse for the safety of the horse or rider. Now, before this rule can take effect, there's a 45-day public comment period and another vote. So it hasn't taken effect yet. It might later this year. So what difference will it make? Well, maybe come from behinders, horses that need a reminder might not respond as readily. Perhaps speed will become more effective than it already is. Maybe strong finishing jockeys will have an edge. Horses accustomed to a reminder might learn to cheat. In other words, not put forth a maximum effort. We will postpone further discussion on the riding crop until those guidelines become official. But Lasix and whip, a couple of major changes coming down the pipe. All right, it's time for the thumbs up, thumbs down segment. And I had to search far and wide for a thumbs up this week. Like many horse players, I like to gamble, and I've been looking around the country for something on which to gamble the past month while Santa Anita has been out of action. Guess what? Oaklawn Park is having a successful meet based on number of starters and competitive racing, 9.2 starters per race. Now, I have to add this. There is a sense of irony using Oaklawn Park as a thumbs up, and I'll only say this. Santa Anita is not the only track with perceived safety issues. As far as the thumbs down part, this refers only to the departure of an outstanding turf rider. Jeremy Balin is a skilled reporter. He won the Eclipse Award last year in 2018. Working for the Blood Horse, Balin was a competitor to daily racing form. Competition makes everyone better. I will miss that. Balin is a passionate horse player. He is opinionated, sometimes to a fault. Now, I referred earlier to a hostile environment between management and trainers. Well, that hostility has reached the ranks of the media. Jeremy Balin recently resigned from the Blood Horse. I wonder if his resignation was in any way the result of industry pressure. I'll just say this, to blame the media is to avoid taking responsibility for the message. So I'll just say I will miss Jeremy Balin yucking it up in the press box. All right, that is it for this week. Last Sunday, Santa Anita sent out a mass text to horsemen that said, in part, quote, "A new era of thoroughbred racing in Southern California begins," end quote. Well, time will tell if the new era includes the return of excitement and anticipation or something else entirely. I'm Brad Free. See you next time.